The market leaders in the entry-level luxury sedan class are the BMW 3 Series, the C-Class from Mercedes, the Audi A4, and you could even throw in there the G37 from Infiniti. And all of them have a slightly different take on what an entry-level sedan should be. This is the latest entry into this very competitive set, the S60 from Volvo. And it's an important car because the lion's share of sedan sales from Volvo come from the S60. And this is also a very important car now that Volvo is being purchased by Geely Motors in China. With a starting price of $38,300, the S60 is right in the meat of this market, especially the high-output T6 turbo six-cylinder when it's factored in. On paper, the high-output model is a relative bargain at $45,450 compared to much of the competition. Now, the S60 is roughly the same shape as the outgoing model, but it has a dramatic look and flow that is light years away from any boxy Volvo of years gone by. You know what? In this very competitive set, you have to have a car that performs, but also one that looks like it performs. The LED running lights are very much in keeping with the rest of this competitive set. The sharper-looking nose is attractive and the rear stance is effective due to the creative taillights and macho exhaust tips. Volvo has come a long way, and this S60 is a good-looking car. Now, for years, Volvo has had some of the most comfortable cars in the business, and most of it centers around the seats. Their seats are so comfortable and supportive, I would put them up against high-end brands like Jaguar, maybe even Rolls-Royce. They're that good. And the other thing is their interiors are very simple, some might call stark, very Scandinavian, but also kind of refreshing. Some criticism has been placed on the floating center console that some might find too small or too simple. After a while, the radio and heat controls do become easy to master and the experience is pleasing. The dash and door panels are fitted with soft touch materials, but it could be argued that the textures and colors are a little bit drab. The center computer interface is rather small, but it does a good job of providing information in an easy to use format, similar to the popular Audi MMI system. Not only is this new Volvo S60 one of the most dynamic cars they've ever built, but one of the safest. The city safety program uses sensors on the front of the car to detect if the S60 is about to hit another vehicle or object. Below 30 kilometers an hour, this system will actually fully brake for the driver if no action is taken, eliminating an accident. Above 30 kilometers an hour, it will slow the car to reduce the impact. The additional pedestrian detection system uses the same sensors but also a camera to detect people. If a pedestrian walks in front of the car, the same auto stop feature or brake reduction will take place. Okay, you want stats? Here are the stats on the S60 T6 and why it's a relative bargain. With standard all-wheel drive, 300 horsepower and even more torque, it competes with the $52,000 BMW 335 xDrive and the $52,000 Audi S4, but it's over $6,000 cheaper than both. The closest competitor on price and power is the $43,000 Infiniti G37X. So how does this S60 T6 compare? Well, the closest competitor to this car for the way it feels, I would say, is the Audi A4. Now, if you want to get the really powerful Audi, you have to get the S4, and that car is a lot more money. It's the way the car feels. The steering and the suspension has good feedback to the driver. The real star of the show, though, is this turbo six-cylinder engine. 300 horsepower. It shows no signs of any kind of turbo lag at any speed, but one complaint, the transmission can be shifted in the center console, but there's no paddle shifters behind the wheel. Not only does the T6 come with standard all-wheel drive, but it also has the ability to reduce wheel slip when exiting a corner by briefly applying the brake on the inside wheel. This provides very sure-footed handling. Now, traditionally, Volvo priced their cars to be less expensive than many of the European competitive cars. And you also got a car that wasn't really competitive when it came to performance. But this new S60, as I mentioned off the beginning, really is going to be the lion's share of sales for Volvo in the sedan class. And it also competes with those cars now. So you get a price reduction. It's less expensive, as we mentioned, but it has the power, it has the handling, it has the looks now, and it also has a fabulously comfortable interior. The base model S60 is called the T5 or Turbo 5-cylinder, and it is available with 250 horsepower. Quite powerful, but only available in front-wheel drive. Now this T6 all-wheel drive really is quite a car. Much better looking, supremely comfortable on the inside, fun to drive with great handling, and of course, it's safe. So if you're looking for a fun and exciting car for less, the S60 is worth a look.
Do you love European cars? Well, we have loads of them at drivingtelevision.com.